You have been listening to the OMG podcast with Paul Finkelstein. We can help you build wealth without hogging your time. Schedule a one-on-one with us. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another OMG podcast segment.
What you were just listening was Tony Raimondo. He actually does the real voiceovers, not an AI. I found him on Alignable, actually. You might have met him, called Tony Raimondo at trcvoiceovers.com. So if you're looking for a real person to do a voiceover instead of an AI, Tony's a great guy. I'm just saying that to give him a plug because I used his voice and I wouldn't want to not give him recognition. But we have some interesting guests here in the live studio on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Multiple YouTubes. On Alice is our great guest, Alice Mensch out of Melbourne, Florida. Raise your hand, yay! And then there's Mary Stanley out of Minnesota, which she's coming back, maybe, hopefully. And then Stephen out of Alberta, Canada. Welcome. We have North America in the house, and then I'm, of course, 50 miles north of Miami and Delray Beach. How are you, Alice? And then we'll get to you, Stephen.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Paul, for having me on. It's great to be here.
It is. And Stephen from Alberta, Canada, whatever way you say it, my tongue's tied. How's the weather up there? Is it warmer now since it's getting into spring and summer?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, and the weather is actually quite nice. And it's we still have in some places close to the mountains, which are about 4 hours west where I am, still freezing temperatures. Up in the mountains, still snow kind of thing. But where I am right now, it's a nice, probably 60 degrees right now. So it's early in the morning, so we'll get up there in the daytime. So, but yeah.
So 60 is perfect for you, but maybe for Alice and I, maybe it might be a little chilly.
Well, it's only 60 in the morning at this point. So by probably mid-afternoon, it gets up to 75 or so.
I think I know why Mary left, because it's about 1 minute until Networking for Business, that's run by Bruce and Sherry Lasner. Their networking hour is actually at 11 o'clock in 1 minute. So we'll just finish up our test if one of us wanted to go, or we could continue and give them a little bit of FOMO that we started a little new podcast. Mary, I thought maybe you might have been going to Bruce and Sherry's 11 o'clock time period, or maybe we'll just talk a little bit about Ron and we're testing the Scarlet Power area. Actually, hello, everyone from Florida. Ledger Max Growth Advisors says hello. So thank you, Ledger Max. I hear they're a top-notch bookkeeping company out of Melbourne, Florida. I think Alice has some connections.
Moving to Orlando soon, Paul.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll leave it at that, unless you wanted to give us a little bit of blip about what's this Ledger Max you're talking about.
Great. So we're a bookkeeping and accounting firm located in both Florida and Maryland. We take care of bookkeeping and accounting nationwide. We typically tend to work with CPAs and EAs. We do a lot of sales tax, and happy to help people out to make sure that their businesses are on the track from compliance to growth. So that's Ledger Max Growth Advisors. Thanks, Paul.
Oh, that's awesome. So we're doing like our introductions live on the air on 2 different YouTubes and Facebook and LinkedIn. Maybe somebody should put a little comment and we could put that up on the screen about who that person is with the green screen background. She's like one of the top-notch podcasters in the world of 7 million podcasters. Welcome onto the stage, Mary Stanley. I think she has some family experience, some military experience, and some neurodivergent experience. Is that the right word? Mary Stanley?
It is. And what I've noticed, it kind of sucks being at the bottom square because then you can't see me with everything that's there. So what I do is I teach you how to understand what autism is and neurodiversity and how your brain works. I was a 15-year military veteran, and now I'm an instructor also on the Skyliverse.
So if I do 3 up, it doesn't show us all either, so that doesn't help either. Okay, I'll go back to that.
Yeah, I'm just short.
And then we did cover Stephen a little bit. Oh, we did. He mentioned the weather, but what are you doing besides hanging out in Alberta, Canada, Do you help people all over the world, or just people in Alberta? Canada?
No, actually, I'm good for all of Canada, all the United States, and I'd like to get into the business operations side of your business, your company, and whether it's digital, whether it's brick and mortar, just to make sure you get all these systems and processes in place that you should have. There's not what do you call it? Making a statement says I didn't know that, or I didn't know I had to do that, or where do I find that information? I'm here to kind of answer those questions, ask you the tough questions so that you don't have to regret not asking those questions later.
Oh, one of our listeners and also presenters, she's at the top right corner on my screen, Alice Mensch. I couldn't help but mention her. She says that this is a great podcasting space, and I happen to agree. But we guys, we guys, okay, I just did it. I just did a generation millennial person. I combined two words and made them into one word. That's got to drive somebody's spouses crazy, especially those English teachers. We met on the Scholar Network, but we met in OMG Biz Cafe, which is a unique platform that maybe you guys actually have seen. I'll put it on the screen so people could see it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. This one. This is the screen that shows the Scholar platform. Is another place like Zoom, but different, maybe perhaps better than Zoom. But tell us, what is your thoughts? Alice, we'll start with you first. What do you think of OMG Biz Cafe powered by the Scholar Network?
Well, Paul, we've met a lot of great people in that networking meeting that we're sort of running, that you've started. It's every morning at 10 Eastern and 4:20 Eastern time, 4:20 p.m. I think it's great because honestly, there's a lot of people that come through. I've met a lot of new people. It's a lot easier to bump into people on this network. So for me, it's been fantastic. The network's building. It's got this and that about it, but it's a great space to meet people. I encourage everyone to check it out every morning at 10 if they have not already.
And now, when you came on to the OMG Biz Cafe, it was just a virtual space. So it has functions like chat, just like Zoom has. It has. I
encourage people to go
options.
check it out. Yeah, for sure, because it has different, you've put in those different locations for people to meet. So it's really beyond a Smart Connect, like you'd see in other spots or any other, other types of networking, or a Zoom. You have things where you can go off and meet people on one-to-ones, but you can voluntarily also go into other spaces just to meet someone maybe you've met there and just want to talk to them. So you've built a great room there for people to, get together and network in. And I know there's a lot more capabilities coming. So, and we'll.
You have traditionally, Alice, an entrepreneur mindset versus an employee mindset. You like to do things the way you like to do things, right?
Paul, we've only known each other for so long, but you've already figured me out. It's just easier to do it my way.
I have a hunch like minds like to be around like minds. And there's one feature that I built on OMG Biz Cafe I'm building my own community, because I can't do that on LinkedIn or Facebook or Alignable or other different social platforms out there. You could use all those platforms, but to actually build your own CRM, your own community, if you will, well, it might be better than a CRM.
And you own it.
Do that by invitation link, right? On Scholar. What do you think about the idea of having your own community? Well, you could have your own
you
Alignable.
own the community. Yeah, you own the own community on Scholar Network. Nobody can ban me. Now, of course, I'm responsible for it. I'm responsible for who joins my community and what goes on there. But nobody can ban me from the Scholar Network, or if they don't like the material I'm presenting, or serving up. I mean, not that accounting is maybe so controversial, but maybe it can be. So
if you want to mix
in
AI with your real person, you can do that. If you only want to talk in AI, if you want to just post podcast videos, you could upload your podcast videos to your own community with an ebbed link, whether it's YouTube or Spotify. You did know that when you make a post on your own community on Scholar?
But also, You can actually embed the players for your podcast directly into your posts, so that way people can listen directly from your platform.
So tell us, how is your community going, Mary Stanley, out of Minnesota, close to Canada?
Yes. So I have 2 communities. One is for Optimize My Life Live Talk Radio. We run different shows, different days of the week and different times. And it's we have a show for just about everybody and anyone. And if not, we're always building and expanding the platform. And then I have a community for families, professionals, individuals with neurodiversity. And it's support for individuals who have it and are struggling or just need a place to sit down and just vent for a minute, or families to understand different tips and tricks, and also all the latest legitimate research that's coming out. So it's all been vetted and, from credible sources. So all the new cutting edge information is all in one spot.
So you're building a resource for anybody who needs some information about neurodivergent individuals, whether it's autism, ADHD, and other mental health issues.
TBIs, PTSD. Yep.
All right, that's an important one for military, non-military, different experiences that happen to help people there.
It is, and one of my backgrounds is in trauma besides neurodiversity. So I work with a lot of veterans and families to help them overcome, because most people have this misconception. Yes, the veteran struggles, but the family struggles along with them. There's a lot of different things that you have to learn how to just let go, or how to say things or do things a little bit differently, and how to understand our language.
And we're coming up on the 11-minute mark for just a test run for Omg Biz Cafe at our 10 o'clock spot, which we're approaching our 11 o'clock spot, testing out some of our guests, some of our significant guests, Alice mentioned, Mary Stanley, and Stephen. Is there any last thoughts you guys have, or maybe you want to continue? Is there any particular topics you want to talk about relating to the scholar community or your community or your business, or any business tips you want to mention?
Well, I'd like to chime in about, on top of what Mary's making with her community, is that, as small business entrepreneurs, that, you've got a message to put out there, you've got product to sell, you've got courses to educate people on, and so on and so forth. You can monetize your community on Skylar, and you can also do it on you have your own wallet, but you can use crypto, you can use traditional banking, traditional processing and things like that. So Skylar offers a lot more diverse opportunities and touch points for you to get your message out as a small business person who has something to say, and with very few restrictions. As Alice says, you own it, but if your message is right, your community could be huge.
Right, it certainly can be. I just put up on the screen so people might not be familiar with it. This is what the Skylar universe looks like if you have your own community. That's what you would get.
Well, it could be anything you want. My Skylarverse looks completely different from that. So it just depends on the needs of mine is a small office with seating for 6, because
I'm glad you mentioned that. It's completely customizable.
Completely customizable.
That's true.
Yep. So you can make the Skylar universe what you want to make it.
Thank you for mentioning that, because when I put up that picture, I'm like, I love the beach, but maybe you don't love the beach.
I know, Paul. It's all about your beach area. We know.
Yeah, that's right.
I just like palm trees.
We like the beach too. I want one of those towels, Paul.
I'm going to have to make sure all of my guests get a towel. You guys are going to make me go broke by buying more towels.
And the shipping to Canada here is just outrageous.
What's in Canada is outrageous?
The shipping.
Oh my goodness.
Me here in Canada.
He's going to bring a lot of Canadian guests. You'll have to ship them.
You have to come pick up your
Come down to Florida, pick it up.
Yeah, well, the folks that I'm doing work with, one's in North Carolina, one's in Miami, and they're meeting in Miami. And I said, well, I'm going to have to come down one day and just, hang out with everybody there. So, yeah, that would be nice one day just to say, okay, I'll see you in Miami and meet you at the
I'll be there
hotel.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I go every month pretty much.
Yeah.
Mary's still here, but while she's not sitting at her desk, I had the power to just put her down below where we could see her until she comes back, and won't look like an empty chair. So to give you some ideas, if you're running your own podcast using StreamYard. Well, maybe we should all go on over to the Networking for Business meeting and go hijack their meeting. I think they might be in a breakout, or Bruce might be still doing his monologue.
But Paul, don't forget to mention to everybody 10 a.m. 420.
Oh yeah, 10 a.m.
OMG. Yep.
Oh, 4:20 this afternoon, or 10 o'clock the next time. Look,
every day.
Ron is by himself, and he's like wondering, where are we? He just came into the Skylerverse.
Should we go rescue Ron? Let's all go rescue Ron, and then we'll go to Bruce.
No, he won't want to come because we're all in the. He just disappeared. I scared him. All right, I'm going to play this. I'm going to go over to Sherry's room in a second, her Skyler room at Networking for Business, and I'll play the outro.
Okay. This is a great first test session. We'll see you guys over there.
We can help you build wealth without hogging your time. Schedule a one-on-one with us. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another OMG podcast segment.